Hey everyone, I'm Benjamin Hollingsworth, and I'm so excited for you to see my new original movie, Splash of Love. I have a couple questions that Hallmark sent me my way to answer, so I'm going to start right into it. Here we go. First question is A Splash of Love. My character Ben gets acquainted with PhD student Chloe, played by Rhiannon Fish, who's visiting his hometown to study whales. Can I share more about how our characters first meet? The meet cute is what we call it in the Hallmark world. Essentially, the meet cute is Rhiannon's character, Chloe, is stuck on the side of the road. My character, who also happens to be named Ben, comes along and notices that she's stuck, avoids hitting a mud puddle and covering her with mud, and also, casually points out that her choice of vehicle, which is a smart car, may not be so smart after all. He then gives her a lift into Cable Cove, and that sets them off into a romantical journey. Okay, so that's number two. Chloe has some trouble with a research project, and when she arrives in Cable Cove, she seeks out help from Ben, who owns a successful whale watching business. How does the research project bring them closer together? Wow. Well, like anything, when you do something with another person, naturally on a work thing, people get close. You get to know each other. That's totally normal. But I think what really draws them together is their love of whales. They have this mutual um, passion about these amazing creatures, and immediately that draws them. Even just the car ride to Cable Cove, there you can see the sparks start to happen, and not just because they maybe have a like each other, but because they're just super passionate about this really fun world of whales. All right, let's see the next one. Ben believes that all miracles are possible, and I also do. Um, uh, so you just have to be patient and wait for the right time. How does he help Chloe believe in miracles as well? Um, well, I think that he does this through helping her understand that not everything is explained by a formula or a scientific method. Her world is very much that Chloe's studying to become a PhD student, to become a mammologist, as it's called, someone who studies whales, and very much lives in the world of science, where Ben, my character, he is the practical world. He does whale watching for a living. He owns a very successful company, and he's used to seeing um, nature, which can be very unpredictable. And so he starts to show her that sometimes miracles are just that. There's no formula for them, and sometimes they happen at the least expected time. So that's what Ben teaches Chloe about that. Our characters bond over their mutual love of whales, researching their habits without giving away any spoilers. No spoilers. Do I have a favorite scene that I can share from the movie? Yes, I do. I do. So you can actually see this on my Instagram, Hollingsworth B, on both my Instagram and Twitter. But I posted a reel of this amazingly beautiful day. It's this scene in the movie where Ben takes Chloe out into these rocks, and they weren't able to go on the water, but they look out and they see this beautiful humpback whale breach. But on the day when we were shooting it, this sunset was, to say breathtaking, it was like it's nothing I've ever seen before. We all walked up and we're like, okay, so basically we just don't distract from the background because it was so picturesque. And on days like that, don't tell Hallmark, but I do it for free. Um, yeah, it's kind of like what we call a mini workation, where you show up and really all you have to do is say the words, because places around you are so beautiful. So that scene, when you see it, it's pretty special. Okay, Ben and Chloe learn there are special moments, the one I just talked about, and they only happen when you step outside your comfort zone. Have I ever experienced a life-changing moment? Yes. Yes, I have. When I was 16, actually, I went to very north part of Canada, and my job was my first job was to cut the trees and shrubs away from the trails that linked one lake to another. It's so far north that like these trails were very overgrown. And so it was myself and about 10 other 16-year-olds that were part of this program. And it was the first time I was away from home. And I remember it was a 7-day canoe trip. And we were away from all family, all civilization, no cell phone service, there wasn't even like a campfire from someone else camping. The only sounds were the sounds of my paddle in the water and the loons calling out. And I remember for the first time, I kind of connected to a part of myself that I didn't know existed. It was my independence. It was my exploration of manhood and what nature meant to me. And it kind of something inside me switched, and I really found a connection to who I was through that nature. And for me, that was pretty life changing because every time I go back to nature, it rekindles that experience for me. Okay. Um, Ben is an experienced captain. Did I have any experience sailing? Did I learn to captain a boat for this role? So not sailing, but I did drive a boat pretty much since I was 5. I was fortunate enough, my family owned a cabin on a lake. And even though I wouldn't recommend teaching your 5-year-old how to drive a boat, that was a different time. And my, my dad did. But I'm very, very confident. I think the boat handlers on set were very surprised about my ability to hit a mark with a boat, which is a lot trickier than a car because unlike a car that once you park it on the mark, you don't have to worry about it. Boats float and they are controlled by wind and currents and tides and all kinds of fun things. So as you watch the movie, watch Ben pull back on the throttle and pull forward on the throttle and twist the wheel around to make sure we were still in frame. But yes, so I really do enjoy driving a boat, and that was another one of the fun elements of the movie for me. Okay, let's see. Ben's boat is called the Marine Magic, and there were some magical moments from seeing orcas to the Northern Lights. What was the most magical moment I experienced while filming? You know what? I think it was a day on the boat. Rhiannon and I were kind of waiting in between setups for the camera. There was a camera boat which had all the camera equipment on it, and the director and everyone. And then there was a boat which is the Marine Magic, and it was a glass calm day, which doesn't usually happen on the ocean. And not always do you get the benefit of being out on the ocean when you shoot a movie that's set on a boat. A lot of the times, because of everything I just explained, they can't control all those elements. But we were fortunate enough that we were able to be out there, and it was just jaw-droppingly stunning. And I remember looking at her and going, like, "Can you believe this? This is our job. Like, how there are moments that we are very, very fortunate to do what we do." And I just remember that looking around. I think it was our last day on the water, and it's so unique to this movie for me, that experience. So that was it. Um, Ben teaches Chloe that you should have an open mind and willingness to try new things. Is there something that I've always wanted to try or do? Yeah, yeah. I just moved to a new city, a new town, I guess you'd call it, and it's right on the ocean, and it's very windy. And there's this supposedly the best, what's called kite surfing in the world, and I love flying a kite as a boy, and I wakeboarded and surf as well in California, and I would love to pair the two and learn how to do it. It looks a lot of fun. You're out on the water, and you've got this massive kite attached to you, and you're on a board, and you kind of surf along the water pulled by this kite. So that's something that I've never done before. Looks super fun, and it's gonna excite the little boy inside of me, I think. Okay. orcas play a special role in this movie as Ben and Chloe spend a lot of time researching their pods. Do I have a favorite sea animal? So I would have to say, honestly, whales were my favorite and still are my favorite. There was a really cool experience that I had when I was 18 when I went whale watching for the first time. I I saw this humpback whale, and we it was off the coast of British Columbia. It had surfaced right next to the boat. So when you get close to the boat, as you learn in the movie, you turn off your engines and you sit, because you don't want to scare them or hurt them. And but whales are very social, and so this particular whale, which was the size of literally a transport truck, came up and surfaced and displaced our boat, and it was like an arm's reach really away, and its eye, which was the size of my head, literally looked up, and it has like it has eyelid, transparent eyelids, and it blinked at me. And I just remember looking at this thing and thinking how um, there was there was this wise spirit inside of it that I'd never experienced before, that had like infinite, felt like wisdom. I don't know, but whales have always held a special part until, um, not that I don't still love whales, and I do, but this little seal, which you'll see in the movie, which wasn't scripted to be in the movie, the sea lion, uh, was super friendly. And where we shot Mary's bread and breakfast, this seal loved to just hop up and watch us film. Like it was all the time. It would jump up on the dock and sit there. Totally was not bothered by any of the people, their camera equipment. I guess was a big film fan. And yeah, he was hanging out, and we decided to work him into the movie. Um, there's a scene where very early on where I'm walking, we see Chloe look out, and she sees I think we trying to remember the name we gave him. Um, she sees the seal on the sea line on the deck, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna love Cable Cove." Not scripted. We just because we had the sea line there, and then it was there again, and we were moving locations to the boat, and I said to the guys, "Hey, get," because we was on the dock again, and I'd gone up to it a few times. Again, on my Instagram, you can see me playing with the sea line. Um, but I went up to this the camera guy, and I was like, just roll the camera. And so he put the camera up, he pressed record, and I knew that I was in the right outfit for this one scene, and so I just walked past the camera down the dock and stepped around. I think we called him Sammy. I stepped around Sammy, and I was like, "Hey, Sammy," and I kept walking. And so we incorporated this seal into the movie as like this local that would hang out on the dock, and I think it was a really cool element that played in the movie. So um, that sea line is now my favorite. Okay, that's a wrap on our live chat. We have a rapid fire game, this or that, inspired by a splash of love. I can. I each pick one opinion that I like best. So here we go. Hold on, I got to get my rapid fire face on. Okay, I'm ready. All right. Run a business or participate in a research project? Run a business. Have a picnic on the beach or go kayaking. Oh, so hard. Kayaking. I love kayaking. Host a party or plan a trip. Ooh, plan a trip. Go dancing or go boating. Oh, you can go boating. Stay out late and watch the Northern Lights, or wake up early and go whale watching. I've never seen the Northern Lights. I got to go with Northern Lights. I would love to see the Northern Lights. Okay, guys, that's it. I had so much fun. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And please don't forget to tune in July 30th, 8/7 Central, only on Hallmark. Splash of Love. Tweet along with me, okay? I'll be there. Make sure you use the hashtag Splash of Love, and hope you guys enjoy the movie. All right, until then.